Hey gang, happy Valentine's Day. It's Doc Schlock and it's a review of the movie Faust, Love of the Deranged. No, damaged? I have to look this one up. It's the story of a painter, or artist, whatever he wants to call himself, named John, who loses his girlfriend because a bunch of people break into their apartment and kill him, and John feels there's nothing to live for, so he tries to commit suicide. But a man walks up to him on the bridge and tells him that, hey, what's the point committing suicide? Why don't you just try to avenge your girlfriend's death and kill a few people in the process and have fun with it? This mysterious man makes him sign a piece of paper. You can tell where this is going. Turns out the man calls himself M, but he's really Mephistopheles. The devil. The bad dude in red. Stuff like that. So, our hero winds up looking like, well, sort of like a bad version of Batman, with Wolverine claws. So you pretty much have a combination of this story. Wolverine meets Spawn with a little bit of Batman, and that's about it. So John goes on the most violent, outrageously gory killing spree, meets another woman, falls in love with her. Then they both wind up meeting up with M again because M wants to unleash hell on Earth. And then the woman that John winds up falling in love with basically makes a deal with M, saying that he will spare John's life if the woman winds up giving birth to M's kid. She says, alright. But the tables are turned. As it turns out, the woman is unable to have children. And M is screwed. One way or another. So, there was no hell on Earth. And John and his new, girlfriend embrace and ends on sort of a happy ending, I guess. The movie stars Andrew Divoff. I think that's how he pronounces it. He's probably best known as the Jinn from Wishmaster 1 and 2. He plays M. Tony Todd has a weird voice, but that guy's got a weird voice. Okay. So now here comes the bad of it. I hated this movie. There was so many gross things in this movie. I mean, the gore in it was alright, but there's this one particular scene in the movie where M winds up turning the tables on, his girlfriend, and it just made me vomit. It made me puke, it made me hurl, whatever you want to call it, gang. It was gross. A lot of the gore effects in this movie were so-so, a lot of them were pretty good, but ultimately, I just did not really care much for this movie. The special effects and gore effects were done by a man named Screamin' Mad George, who he did some of the special effects for Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and one of the Children of the Corn movies. I believe it was number 3. And I think he also did the special makeup and gore effects for Freaked, which starred Alex Winter. There's a good movie right there. I mean, it's insanely funny. But this one, yeah, it took a lot to be desired. This movie made me sick in all sorts of ways, and I never wanted to see it ever again after I watched it the first time. It took a lot out of my stomach for me to get through this. Faust, Love of the Ding Dongs. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. And if you have a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, or fantasy horror movie that you didn't have to sell your soul for to watch, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you so very much for watching. And for Doc Schlock, as always, stay strong and rock on. Oh, so scary.